Hedwig Herbarium presents Fairy Tale Shadows, the Psychology of Folklore, featuring Rumpelstiltskin. Also profiling the Maiden Queen. Story. In the classic German folk tale, a poor miller attempts to impress the king by lying, claiming his daughter has the magical ability to spin common straw into pure gold. Greedy for wealth, the king locks the girl in a room filled with straw and demands she spin it all into gold by morning or face execution. In her despair, a mysterious, impish little man appears and offers to do the work for her in exchange for her ring. This cycle repeats for 2 more nights, with the king demanding ever larger rooms of gold and the imp taking her ring, and finally a promise for her firstborn child once she becomes queen. Years later, now queen and having forgotten her desperate bargain, the woman is visited by the little man who has come to claim her infant child. Horrified, she pleads for mercy. The impish figure strikes a final deal. If she can guess his secret name within 3 days, she may keep her baby. She spends 2 days failing to guess the name, but on the 3rd day a messenger overhears a strange little man dancing around a fire in the woods, singing a song that reveals his name is Rumpelstiltskin. When he returns for the final time, the queen toys with him before calmly speaking his true name. Realising he has lost his power and his prize, Rumpelstiltskin flies into a legendary fit of rage. In the original Grimm version, he stamps his right foot so deep into the earth that he sinks to his waist. Then in a blind fury, he grabs his left foot with both hands and literally tears himself in 2. Rumpelstiltskin and the Shadow. Behind every whimsical fairy tale trope lies a complex psychological blueprint. Rumpelstiltskin, a study in narcissism, insecurity and power dynamics. The narcissistic sociopath. Rumpelstiltskin can be seen as a deeply insecure figure, despite his magical prowess. His narcissistic traits include a grandiose sense of self-importance, a need for admiration, demanding the firstborn child, and a lack of empathy, exploiting the princess's distress. His desire to own a child could be a twisted form of legacy or an ultimate act of possession, feeding his ego. Deep-seated insecurity and control. His power over the Maiden Queen, forcing her to make bargains, gives him a sense of control that might compensate for a feeling of powerlessness or insignificance in his own life. The secrecy around his name is crucial to his power. Knowing it makes him vulnerable, which he vehemently resists. This secrecy could symbolise a hidden trauma or a core identity he fears exposing. Compulsion and repetitive behaviour. His joy in spinning and his repeated demands for payment could reflect a compulsive need to prove his worth or to exert his unique skill. The act of spinning itself might be a ritual that affirms his identity. The shadow self. He represents the shadow aspects of ambition, greed, and the dangerous bargains we make with ourselves or others for success. He exploits the societal pressure on the Maiden Queen. The Maiden Queen and the Shadow. A journey through anxiety, desperation, and self-assertion. The princess, initially a victim of her father's prideful lie, is thrust into an impossible situation. Extreme anxiety and desperation. Facing death or ruin, her initial responses are fear and helplessness. Her pacts with Rumpelstiltskin are born out of sheer desperation, highlighting the psychological toll of impossible demands. Learned helplessness versus agency. Initially she is passive, relying on Rumpelstiltskin. However, as the stakes rise, the demand for her firstborn, she eventually finds her agency. The king's increasing demands, more gold, marriage, only add to her stress, creating a trap from which she seemingly cannot escape. The weight of expectations and the power of knowledge. She is burdened by her father's lie and the king's greedy expectations. This can explore the psychological impact of living up to false pretenses and the pressure to perform. Discovering Rumpelstiltskin's name is not just a plot device, it's a symbolic act of gaining insight and reclaiming power. It represents understanding and confronting the hidden fears or forces that control us. Her triumph is an act of intellectual and emotional strength. Imposter syndrome, the burnout cycle, and the shadow bargain. In the original tale, the princess doesn't claim she can spin gold, her father does. This is the perfect setup for imposter syndrome. The king's demands follow the classic pattern of occupational burnout, where increased effort leads to diminishing returns and emotional exhaustion. Selling the future for the present. Burnout often leads people to make desperate deals just to survive the next 24 hours. She gives away her jewellery, her identity, and eventually her child, her future, just to satisfy the king's immediate greed. The shadow bargain. Rumpelstiltskin is like a high-interest payday loan for the soul. He provides the success she needs to stay alive, but the interest rate is her long-term mental health and maternal bond. Rumpelstiltskin represents the dark shortcut. The shadow work, the path to recovery. The resolution of the story, learning Rumpelstiltskin's name, can be framed as a psychological breakthrough. Naming the demon. In therapy, naming a feeling or a complex, like the imposter, is the first step to gaining power over it. By naming him, she breaks the contract of her burnout. Integration. She finally stops trying to spin gold and starts using her wits. Her value shifts from what she can produce, gold, to who she is, a clever woman who outsmarted a demon. Shadow Totem Statement of Being for the Queen. When I name my fears, they lose their power to command me. I am the guardian of my own energy and I choose where it is spent. I own my successes. They are the result of my wit, not just a stroke of luck. My child, you will meet many kings who want gold and many imps who want your secrets. Remember, your worth is not a currency to be traded. You are the gold, exactly as you are. Feel free to comment and share your thoughts. Please like and subscribe for more because there's more coming soon. Blessed be.